Today we're going to talk about 5 keys to basketball tryouts that'll help you make the team. Welcome to X-Ray Basketball, the show that takes a deeper look into basketball. I'm Coach Logan, and on this channel, we provide an opportunity for coaches and players to improve their knowledge and understanding of the game of basketball. If you're new, please follow or subscribe to X-Ray Basketball, and if you enjoy this video, please hit that like button. Today, we're going to talk about 5 keys to basketball tryouts that will help you make your freshman or high school basketball team. So let's jump into it. I've been a high school basketball coach for the last 8 years, and I've been a part of every level of tryouts from freshman, JV, to varsity. And I'm going to use that experience to teach you today 5 keys to your basketball tryout. The first key to your basketball tryout is preparation. There's nothing worse than showing up to your tryout and it's the first time you've touched a basketball in weeks or possibly months. Your skill and comfort level with a basketball in your hand will be obvious to a coach that is running your basketball tryout, and it's important for you to practice well before your basketball tryouts. The best way to get better at basketball is to practice, practice, and practice. So grab a basketball, head out into the driveway or the park, and work on your ball handling, your jump shot, and playing as many games as you can. The second part to your preparation for tryouts is conditioning. Basketball is a very physically demanding sport, and you'll need to make sure that you're in shape to meet those demands. When working on your conditioning for basketball tryouts, I suggest you focus on short distance sprints, long distance running, strength or weightlift training, and footwork drills such as jump rope or speed ladder. And the last part to your preparation for basketball tryouts is to work on your grades. The typical standard to qualify for high school athletics in the United States of America is a minimum GPA or grade point average of 2.0. Some schools, counties, and states have different rules and regulations regarding academic qualification for high school sports. It's important for you to do your research and find out what your school requires out of you. And if you find that your academic standing makes you ineligible to participate in high school sports, you'll want to do everything you can to improve your grades. I suggest making sure that you've completed all your missing assignments and seek tutoring if any is available. So the first key was about preparation before your basketball tryout. The next 4 keys will be about what to do on the day of your tryouts. So the second key to your basketball tryout is to focus. Depending on the size of the school that you attend, there's likely to be more students trying out for the basketball team than you're probably expecting. I've been a part of some tryouts that have seen 60 to 70 students competing for 15 roster spots. So it's important for you in this environment where there are so many different people that you stay focused and you pay attention to what's going on. As tempting as it may be to socialize with friends and players that you may know, you also need to realize that these players are competing for the same spots you are. So don't let them distract you and cause you to lose focus on what you're trying to do. And remember, you're trying to make the team. It's also really important for you to focus on what's happening on the court too. Your coaches are most likely going to put you through drills and teach you new aspects of the game. And what they're doing is they're measuring your ability to learn and react to their teachings. Sometimes coaches will teach you and put you through drills that are above your grade level to see how you handle that challenge. And other times, they'll be putting you through drills and teaching you aspects of their game that they're planning on using for the upcoming season. All in all, you want to stay focused on what your mission is. You're there to make the basketball team, and you want to make sure nothing distracts you from learning and showing what you're capable of doing. Now that you're focused on your purpose and you know what you're supposed to be doing on the basketball court, it's time to talk about the third key to your basketball tryout, and that key is to hustle. The best way to get noticed by your coach and to separate yourself from your classmates is to hustle up and down the floor. Examples of hustling on the basketball court are diving for loose balls, chasing down every rebound you can, sprinting back on defense, and in between each drill, sprinting from station to station. The reason why hustling will get you noticed by coaches and separate yourself from other players is because it's not easy to do. It requires a tremendous amount of energy and discipline to hustle for every single possession. And like we talked about before, you need to be focused and in great shape with your conditioning for you to be able to perform at that level. I promise you that if you have a fear that you won't get noticed on the basketball court based off of your skills alone, that your hustling will put you on the coach's radar. So our third key to your basketball tryout, we talked about how hustling can be a positive way for you to get noticed on the basketball court. And with our fourth key, we're going to talk about how your attitude can be a negative way for you to be noticed on the basketball court. Just like how I told you from a coach's perspective that hustling is the best way to get noticed by a coach, the absolute worst way to be noticed by any coach is having a poor attitude. I've seen bad attitudes get players kicked out of the gym before tryouts are even over, or even lead to them getting cut on the very first day. Competing in sports at a high level does require a lot of emotion, but for you to show that you have the maturity to handle high school sports, you need to show restraint and control over your emotions. If during your basketball tryouts you feel like you were fouled and there was no call made, you can't lose your temper and start cursing at other players or starting a fight. In a real game of basketball, there are a lot of missed calls by referees and fouls that are never given to players, and it's important for you to keep playing even through that adversity. You may even be in a situation where you're placed on a temporary team during your basketball tryout, whether it be 3-on-3, 4-on-4, or 5-on-5, and on this team you may not get along with your teammates, or your teammates may not be the easiest to play with. It's crucial that you make the most of this situation. Who you play with and how they play are things that you cannot control, but how you respond to the situation and how you conduct yourself on the court is 100% under your control. So as we key in on your attitude on the court, we want to make sure that your body language is under control and positive, and that all the communication you have with your teammates is supportive and not critical. And the fifth key to your basketball tryout is to not be selfish. Your coaches who are running your basketball tryout will provide you with every opportunity for you to show off your ball handling skills and your shooting ability by putting you through various drills. When it comes to playing games, whether it be 3-on-3, 4-on-4, or 5-on-5, the worst possible thing you can do is to be selfish. Nobody wants to play with a teammate who's unwilling to pass the ball, who's going to dribble the entire time, and is going to take a shot every time they touch the basketball. And speaking as a basketball coach, when we watch players compete in live games, we're no longer critiquing just skills. We're also looking at decision making and team chemistry. So those things are vitally important when you're competing in live games. Your ability to make the right pass at the right time to an open teammate, or your decision making on when to take a good shot during your team's possession of the basketball will mean more to a coach than to see you go and try to score 1 versus 5 or 1 versus 4. Be patient and don't force the game. Let the game come to you, and always be on the lookout for positive plays for your team and for yourself. Now here's a surprise. I've got 3 bonus tips for you. The first bonus tip I have for you before your basketball tryouts is to find out who your basketball coaches are. Once you found out who they are, you want to try to find an opportunity to introduce yourself. Meeting your coaches and introducing yourself will go a long way in them remembering you when it comes time for tryouts. Bonus tip number 2. Find out which students on campus were on the basketball team last year. It's a good idea to make friends with those players, seeing how they might be your teammates if you make the team, and they can give you some insight and input on what their experience was like when they were in tryouts. Bonus tip number 3. Unfortunately, not everyone is going to make the basketball team. Traditional rosters only have about 15 spots, and like we talked about previously, you might be in a situation where your basketball tryouts consist of 50 or 60 students trying out for those 15 spots. So if you do not make the team, but you are still passionate about basketball, I highly suggest that you find any way you can to still be a part of the basketball program at your school. Some different ways that you could be a part of the basketball program even though you're not on the basketball team are you could be a student manager that helps with practice and games. You could help keep stats for the coaches. You can work the score book or score clock on game days. And you may even be an opportunity where you could possibly be a practice player. The most important thing is you have to let those coaches know that you're interested in being a part of the basketball program, willing to be dedicated to the time that your position requires, and fully understand that you're not going to be playing this year. Now you might be asking me, Coach Logan, why do I want to do that? That's going to be painful for me to watch those players that I feel like I'm better than or that I can compete with play, and I'm not playing. And I understand it's a difficult situation to be in. However, you will have such a tremendous opportunity to learn more about the game of basketball, to understand what it is that your coaches want from their players. You'll be able to see through your teammates and classmates' successes and failures what it takes to play at that level. And if you have an opportunity to practice with the team, you will be able to continue to improve your skill set and prepare yourself for the following year's tryouts. Not everyone is going to make the basketball team, and not everyone is going to want to be in a manager, practice player, or statistician position. But that opportunity will put you in a better position going forward. We hope these 5 keys to your basketball tryout and the 3 bonus tips we provided will give you confidence going forward as you prepare for your own basketball tryout. We encourage you to watch this video over and over and over again as you prepare for your basketball tryout. And if you find yourself in a situation where you didn't make the team, please remember the bonus tip that we talked about in finding a way to stay a part of the basketball program. We are incredibly excited for this upcoming basketball season, and we want to wish you the best as you start your basketball tryout journey. Please let us know in the comments down below how your basketball tryout went and what team you landed on and what decision you made if you didn't make the basketball team. If you enjoyed this video and feel like it's helped prepare you for the next step in your basketball journey, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of X-Ray Basketball, please follow or subscribe to our channel. We want to wish you the best as you start your basketball tryouts, and keep learning and keep practicing until we see you on the next episode of X-Ray Basketball.